Hey, Taurus, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your January 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Taurus, the key themes for you in the month of January, you have memories, action, followed by heart's desire. This is really beautiful because a lot of you Taurians are focused on creating new memories. You want to take action on your heart's desires, and this is the year where you really lay some solid groundwork. For a lot of you, you already have laid the groundwork. This could be the year that you really see something coming to fruition, something coming alive. I feel like you are taking a stand here for what you know is aligning with your heart, okay? This is heart alignment, and we see that showing up here with the King of Cups for you as well. Now, at the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming is there's some sort of resolution coming into conflict. If you have any leftover residual whatsoever from 2023, I feel like you're tying up loose ends. Now, for some of you, there could be something that you wanted to wrap up in 2023, but there's still something that's lingering over. And I feel like you're going to find some really logical and heart-centered solutions. There's something about balance here for you as well. This is all about overcoming obstacles. It's about understanding your triggers and being aware of them. There could be a lot of adversity for those of you that are job hunting, or for those of you that are connecting to family or friends. Maybe you're realizing, that everyone has some sort of different viewpoint from yours, but it doesn't have to be such a tug of war all the time. And that's what we see here in this conflict. And I feel like you're choosing the high road. You're choosing to not partake this year. And I say this year because January, this is more of an intention setting reading here, where you're setting the groundwork for the entirety of 2024. Now, Taurus, I will be putting out yearly readings in the following week. So if you haven't already hit that subscribe and bell button, please do so. But this is a really great time for you to find conflict resolution, not just New Year's resolution, right? But conflict resolution. What are you not repeating this year? What are loose ends that you're ready to tie up? And for those of you that have been in some sort of tug of war with a family member, with a lover, with a partnership, some sort of contract, they're giving me contract as well. I feel like you're going to find a negotiation or some sort of compromise here. So that's what you don't see coming. For some of you, it does have to do with career. So there may have been some struggles when it came to finances, or when it comes to maybe a boss. I feel like you're definitely changing up the game here. You're creating new memories, and some of you are even changing your career entirely to focus more on what emotionally brings happiness. And I feel like the finances will follow, because you're I was going to say you're using, but losing came out. So some of you, I feel like you're letting go of the rope, right? You're letting go of the rope, where maybe you've been in a tug of war and you may have lost this battle, but you're actually kind of winning the war here in a sense. And it's not that you're constantly feeling like you're in a battlefield. Some of you have felt like that, but I feel like you're willing to kind of take a different alternative approach. Instead of stepping on landmines, where a lot of you Taurians felt that way in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. For a lot of you, it's been very challenging the last few years. I feel like you're taking some sort of alternative approach, and you're going around the battlefield, and you're saying to yourself, I don't really have to be constantly in this battle, right? And there's some changes around career for you this year. I see some sort of promotion, a new job offer coming in, something that aligns more with your heart and soul, because you may have had to do something in the past, or it was a little bit boring, a little bit routine, a little bit redundant, and that's what you're finding some conflict resolution on. All right, so with the memories card, Taurus, showing up, there could again be some loose ends that you are tying up, but for a lot of you, this is creating new memories, right? It's about you rewriting your story right here, right now, and you're going to utilize the past. So what I mean by rewrite is you're going to look back on those experiences, but instead of focusing on maybe what you have focused on, you're flipping that script and you're saying, okay, I was focusing on the negative. I was focusing on the loss. How can I use this as a takeaway? How can I see the silver lining so I can create new memories, new opportunities this year that are going to help me bring more love, more finances, more, abundance, more health. So I feel like you're doing things in a way that hasn't been done before. This is really good. I like this. I'm proud of you for doing this, because sometimes people, they stay right in their comfort zone, or they stay in their belief system. Not that you're not bringing some beliefs in, not that you're, going to be completely uncomfortable, but there is some sort of integration happening here where you're going to do things different and you're going to get different results. And these different results look like they're going to pay off big time for you. Now, some of you could be authors. Maybe you're publishing a book. This does talk about reminiscing, so you could even be gathering up information. You could be looking into an old job, or there could be an old offer coming in for you in January. But I feel like this month is, history in the making, where the end of 2024, you look back and you say, wow, I did make this a memorable year. And it starts here with January. So you also have the action card, Taurus. I feel like you're coming in hot here, where you're taking action, you're doing what needs to be done. And it's so interesting. I can't wait to dive into the tarot, because as I was shuffling, they were showing me quite a few things spinning. But I feel like you are moving forward. You see the forward movement phrase. It says motivation. A lot of you are amping up your motivation by, even eating healthier foods. You're getting healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And I feel like there's a lot more momentum backing you up to embrace these alternative changes that are coming in here for you. So this is about hustle as well, but it's a good hustle. It's not the hustle mentality that we must go, go, go like the Energizer Bunny and never slow down, right? Until the battery wears out. This is about a hustle that comes from a place of, passion, of desire. And we see that happening with the heart's desire. So it's an excitement that shows up. Excitement for the chase, right? That's why there's the cat there, because the cat is getting ready to pounce on something here. And I feel like you're getting ready to pounce on your heart's desires. Excuse me. Now, with this heart's desires, this could be a passion project. It could be a creative endeavor. It could be a business idea. It could be love. It could be romance. Whatever this is for you, whatever is showing up in your energy field, whatever you're thinking of, whatever's on your mind, or on your heart, I should say. This is a love for what you do. And for some of you as well, if you have suffered any type of maybe depression, anxiety, heart pain, if it's been emotional loss or anything like that, I feel like you're getting right in the heart space. That means by getting right, it means you've done the healing work. It means that you have set the groundwork for you to open your heart up, keep that heart open, but also know what to do when other people tend to kind of cross that boundary, or they tend to overuse, or maybe some of you in the past, you've been that doormat. I feel like you've set a healthy boundary while still maintaining an open heart chakra. And that's really difficult to do. So Taurus, pat yourself on the back, because a lot of you are, focusing on your heart health, and you're making decisions from the heart here as well. And it's balance. I would have expected to see the Lovers energy here. I don't see the Lovers. I actually see the King of Cups, and I understand why, because the King of Cups, he makes mature decisions, right? That are logical, but yet that are mature, that still align with his heart, right? And so I feel like that's what's happening here for you. All right, let's dive into the tarot. Now, the first one out is the Wheel of Fortune, and this is the imagery right away. They showed me literally the game Wheel of Fortune, for those of you that ever watched that show with Bob Barker. They showed me you spinning the wheel, right? And we so want that wheel to land on, what is it, the green, or land on the big prize. And I feel that you've always been spinning that wheel, hoping and hoping and hoping that you were going to land on, you know, some sort of big opportunity. But it's like it misses it by this much, by a hair, right? It's the red right next to the big splotch of green. And I feel like what you're doing is you're creating your own fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune, it kind of, the way it came out, it's almost like it did do a little bit of a spin. I probably should, I should show you guys the shuffles that come out here, because they are interesting, but I don't edit these videos. But I feel like what you're doing is, it's like you're getting to that spin, and it's just about to land, and you say, you know what, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put it where I want it to land. I want it to land on this opportunity. You're not waiting for something to fall in your lap, or waiting for chance and fate to intervene. I feel like you're creating your own fortune, and you're giving that wheel a little nudge, and you're putting it up there because you're realizing that Bob Barker, right, or no one is going to judge you or tell you what you can and cannot do. Okay, that's what I feel here in this situation. And I actually like this because it's not coming from a conceited or an arrogant point of view, Taurus. It's coming from a, if I want this, I'm going to go out and get it. If I want to, have this opportunity, I'm going to put myself in this opportunity. If I want to, in that big camper, I'm going to save up for it, and I am going to pick out the camper that I want, right? Or the boat, or the car, or the dream vacation, or the home, whatever it is for you. And if this is a job opportunity for some of you, you're going to smash it. What I mean by that is you are going to blow away the competition. And I feel really good about some sort of new opportunity that comes in after maybe a series of unfortunate events. Okay, because some of you, you were waiting for that kind of shift to come in, and I feel like you're taking something in your own hands now. Now, you've gone through a lot. You have the Strength card, Taurus, and when the Strength card shows up, you've had to face some dragons, but you can see that her and the dragon, they've become quite close. So for some of you, I feel like you were very, very separated from what it was or how to get what you truly desired. There was some sort of cognitive dissonance. There was some sort of lack of belief, maybe even some self-sabotage. But you were forced in a way to get cozy with your shadow, right? You were faced to get cozy with your fears. And I feel like you've looked fear in the eye, because you can see that even though there's a little bit of timid energy here, she has her body back a little bit from the dragon, but she also has built trust. She has her hand on the dragon's face, and the dragon's, talons are on her. So they've built some sort of bond. So I feel like you've connected to some of your, your fears. And because you've built this bond, you're able to understand why these things have happened, or you're able to accept and embrace and heal. Because when you shed light to something, it doesn't go back into the shadows. You can't unsee it, right? So once you've kind of befriended something that had been difficult for you in a way, I feel like that's when the magic really starts to happen. And that's what we see here taking shape. And look at this. It almost looks like there's fairy lights on the back of that strength card or on the top of it. And then there's also some fairy lights coming in around the memories. So yeah, it's like you are looking at things from a different perspective than you have in the past. You're basically rewriting a story here. So this could be a relationship. Maybe you've tended to look back on that relationship and say, that person was awful. This is what they did. They were a narcissist. They were manipulative. They were the worst person ever. And now you're looking back and you're saying, you know, how can I revisit this from a place of love instead of rage, or instead of anger, or instead of hurt, basically, because hurt is the underlying energy of, you know, those things we just mentioned. So you're looking at it now from a place of love, and you're saying, you know, that person was hurt as well. And that doesn't give them the right to treat me the way they did, but we also needed to learn. And I see that there was a soul contract between the both of us. And there were things that I wouldn't have been able to learn, or, you know, maybe we had children together and I wouldn't have had that if I wouldn't have met them. So you're going back and you're rewriting the story, and the old story was one based on ego and fear and hurt and pain and drama, where you're taking you're still being realistic, of course. You're not forgetting what had happened, but you're taking the growth with it. And when you're able to integrate those pieces, that's what makes you stronger. So I'm really loving this. And you are so mature. I just want to give you, big hugs, Taurus, because you've gone through a lot here. Page of Swords. Some of you have had to, they're giving me fight for your right? So maybe you've had to kind of fight for your rights in some way. You've had to feel like you've had to constantly do your research or do your due diligence, or you've had to look into people or places. Page of Swords. Sometimes this Page of Swords, he can be a little bit of a, private investigator. He can sometimes be very full of himself. I feel like this could be someone around you as well. It could be someone younger or just very immature, because you kind of get this devious look from him, like, hey, I got this going on here and I know what's best, when really he's a page, he's not a king, you know. But I feel like if this is your energy, or if it's someone around you, I feel like they've had to learn the hard way. And you're seeing that now, where maybe in the past you weren't able to forgive someone or forgive yourself, okay? Next up, we have the King of Cups, right? The King of Cups says that someone has emotionally evolved. Someone has matured. But again, I feel like they've had to learn the hard way. It's like someone was too big for their britches, or their ego was too much. And I feel like there's been a lot of determination, a lot of strength. I mean, for some of you as well, you've had to put yourself through a lot of schooling, or a lot of, research. You've dove in head first to maybe a spiritual path, or maybe a financial path, or some sort of path. It's like you've started from the ground up, but you've learned every lesson that you could learn in a very, challenging way. And then you went back into it again, to break it wide open and pick it apart and say, okay, what did I learn from this? How did I grow? What went wrong? What went right? So really, private investigator meets full-blown, I'm mature. I am maturing, but it wasn't without going back into the rubble and picking it apart. So yeah, some of you definitely went back into the rubble, picked it apart, and that's how you've been able to befriend some of those shadows. Now, showing up January 2024, you have the Knight of Pentacles. It did show up in reverse, but it's also showing up with the Knight of Cups in the upright. So something that you may have felt a little bit stuck on, that's where this conflict resolution is coming in. Okay, so for some of you, this could be someone else showing up that was just not putting in the effort, or they were lazy with their energy, or this could be you embracing both archetypes, where maybe in the past there was a little bit of caution, but now you're throwing caution to the wind and you're saying, I'm following my passion. I'm following my heart's desire here, whether this is in career, romance, it's self-love, whatever it may be here. This Knight of Cups, I mean, he's ready. You can see this Knight of Cups. The difference here is so benign. There, it's almost like this Knight of Pentacles. I mean, he is dressed to the nines in his armor. Like he is ready for a full-on attack here, in a way where he may even be too protected, where he's not able to fully move because there's just so much armor, right? There's so much going on here, and it actually, the horse is like, this is too heavy, right? It's too heavy here. There's a lot happening. I feel like things were restricted when when the Knight of Pentacles shows up in reverse. This can be about, even a little bit of laziness. And I feel like whether it's you or the horse, it doesn't feel like moving forward. It's because there's some sort of fear attached to it. And then this Knight of Cups shows up and he's more, free reign. You could see he's not even wearing a shield on his head. He's traveling through the water. The horse is, chest deep here. And what's at the top of this guy's staff, this knight's staff, is the sun, and he's leading with his soul and with his light. And he's saying, even though there's some fear, I'm not letting that fear, go back into the shadows, because what did I say earlier? Once you shed light on something, you can't unsee it. And that's what's helping you out here, Taurus. So when it comes to finances, a lot of you, there were some fears around money. There were some attachments even, or even some things that you had to learn and you had to go back and figure out. Why did this happen? How did this happen? Maybe that was for your own doing, right? Your logical mind had to piece together some reasoning to make sense out of something. And once you made sense out of it, you're able to kind of heal it, mature, and move towards something new. And if this was a relationship, I feel like a lot of you, you may have been dealing with some pages and some knights when you yourself were in this king energy of emotional maturity, where you were just attracting other people that weren't at that same level because some fears needed to be addressed, right? Some demons, some self-sabotage. And I feel like you're in a better place now. And this is going to be a really good year for you for, taking initiative, taking that step forward, not letting fear come in and hold you back. All right, when it comes to finances, you have the award, you have the tree, and you have the sword. Now, this is so interesting because you also have that conflict card. And what does it say on here? It says money conflicts, but you're going to have a breakthrough, right? There's conflict resolution coming in here, where some of you were dealing with people who were trying to cut corners. They were trying to basically cheap it out, right? It's almost like someone wanted to produce something of low quality, but they wanted to ask high quality money. And you're like, how does that even make sense? That doesn't even align with, my integrity, my beliefs. Why am I still here working for you? Right? Or it's that someone was trying to cut corners by paying you less and having you do the work of 3 different people. And you're like, what the hell? This does not make sense. Right? I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm good at. And I feel like that's what you are putting, a stop to, or maybe that's what you did put a stop to in 2023, or that's what you're realizing here. This may have to do with a legal situation, law and order. Some of you, maybe you were dealing, or you are a defense attorney, or maybe you work in the prison, or maybe you work in the legal system of some way, shape, or form. Some of you were fired. Maybe there was a pay cut because, again, someone is trying to cut corners. Maybe there was a pay cut, or there was a staff cut, and then that had you working more hours. I just seen here a nurse triage. So some of you, maybe you work in nursing. Or I was actually seeing a group of people with scrubs, wearing scrubs. So maybe that's any type of field where you wear scrubs. For others of you as well, I just feel like there was a lot of tug of war here with someone that you may have worked with, okay? Or it was within your own self, kind of going back and forth, like we said, with that Page of Swords, trying to be that private investigator. Maybe you hired a private investigator for some of you because something was unfair, you were treated poorly, or there was some sort of breach of contract here. Either way, you're going to come out on top. You have the award, you have the tree. This is all about financial growth. I really love the tree. It reminds me of the 10 of Pentacles, and this is about things coming to fruition, right? So regardless of where you are at, if you're in the beginning stages of just getting hired, or if you've been in a company for quite some time, or maybe you're building your business, there's good news here because there's something here that's going to come full circle. And I feel like there's a lot of abundance here, a lot of growth, because you have had to start from the ground up. Maybe you went to school and it took you a long time, right? Maybe that's why you have the Page of Swords here, because he can be, very educated. He may be wanting to go back and learn something new. Maybe he is questioning his very, life path when it comes to career, and that's okay. Because sometimes we do need to go back to school and learn again in the traditional way, non-traditional way, but maybe you were too fearful to in the past because you're thinking, well, what if I'm the oldest one? Or what if I'm crazy for doing this? Or what if I have to take a pay cut? You're not letting those what ifs hold you back any longer, Taurus. And some of you, this could be a family business or one that helps your family, or you're able to pass on to your family. It could be residual income for some of you. You do something once and you bring in money numerous times throughout the years, maybe writing a book or, putting out a course or a workshop. I feel like there's a lot more stability coming in here for you in 2024 because something feels like it's been hard at work, like you've been hard at work. I also see if some of you are looking to move, relocate, or take your business services elsewhere, maybe even on a global level. I feel like this is the Wheel of Fortune. You are holding this fortune in your hands. There's nothing you cannot do here with the Wheel of Fortune. This is about a turning point in your life. And I do feel, yes, there is the hand of, divine intervention happening here. But it's because you're ready, because you are the one saying, okay, Spirit's giving you that wheel. Go back to the Bob Barker wheel, right? That's the universe putting the wheel right there. And that's you taking the action by actually spinning it and saying, okay, this is what I wanted to land on. Boom. That's when that, that spiral of magic with the twinkle lights here, the fairy lights, come into full effect and you have the award. Okay, so some of you, this is graduation. It could be ceremony. Some of you are taking classes. You could be getting certified, or you already are certified. But this is about winning money. Okay, if this is a legal situation or job advancement, a payoff, payout, inheritance, because I get 10 of Pentacles can be an inheritance for some of you. Yeah, an end to conflict that has to maybe do with family, or could be alimony. It could be unemployment, anything of that nature. You're getting recognized here for your efforts because you started from the ground up, from scratch. This is about advancement and professional work, and for some of you Taurians, fame. So if you're looking for fortune and fame, it is the perfect opportune moment for you to grab that opportunity and make something happen here for you. Beautiful. All right, you have receipts. We're hiring. You have internship, and you have follow-up. Okay, some of you may work with, an accountant. Maybe you yourself are an accountant. This could be a financial advisor, real estate expert, just someone who is looking over some sort of receipts here. I mean, this could be you taking a look at expenses in the month of January. You may be doing some comparing. Some of you are being very mindful of your money, where it goes, what you're investing in. You could be hiring or training someone to come into your business or come into your, company. Maybe you are the hiring or the firing manager as well. If you are the one looking to get hired, it looks to be certainly favorable because there's your internship. There's everybody coming together, and there is, the follow-up. So someone is going to follow up with either the skills and services that you put out there that you provide, or you're following up with someone because you want to offer them some sort of opportunity to work with you. So this is really great here. Okay, when it comes to love, I mean, you certainly have love available, heart's desire. You have the King of Cups. Now, we don't necessarily see a match at this time. It doesn't mean you're not matched with your person, because we certainly see that there's going to be some sort of engagement. Whether this is an actual engagement, maybe you're setting the groundwork, you're setting the intention in January to have a higher level of commitment in 2024. This is about your love life ascending. And it wouldn't surprise me if some of you are engaged by the end of 2024, if that's something you're looking for. Excuse me. Now, some of you, I feel like you may be making heart-based decisions here. You have the heart health, making decisions from the heart to put yourself out there, right? Start again, try anew, flirt. It says extend your lighthearted energy to others. So if you're single, this is a really great time to feel the chemistry, because you are attracting to you, especially with you in that King of Cups energy. You could be attracting a King of Cups, or because you have, ascended. I mean, this engagement, it says your love life is ascending. That could be you ascending your own energy, raising your vibrations to allow this magnetic attraction between you and another to come in. And you're going to be flirty. You're going to feel flirty. You're going to feel open. Some of you, I'm getting like healthy banter. It's almost like picking on each other, but in a fun, light way. And you're not taking it personally. It's just how you interact and how you communicate. Okay, I really like this though, because I feel like it's fun. It's carefree. I feel like you could trust this person. It could even feel at times that they may be a little bit immature, but I feel like they may be coming in with a love offer, Knight of Cups, and they could actually be a King of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, if this is a new relationship, you may be worried that old cycles are going to repeat themselves, but remember, this is up to you, Taurus. You have this this wheel in your hands. If you don't like where it lands, take your finger and push it back onto the green, right? I feel like this is an important time for you to really set intentions, to raise your vibrations, to keep your heart open, like we mentioned. This is beautiful. All right, what last messages do we have here for Taurus? You have get grounded. A lot of you may even be empaths. Okay, you may be highly sensitive to your surroundings, to people, and that may be why some of you have kind of just been working on your own recovery, because it's a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to put yourself out there, and maybe you have put yourself out there and trying to look for new jobs, or maybe the dating world, and it's left you feeling exhausted, because there's so much adversity, right? So much competition. And it's like you find some sort of solution to that here in the month of January, whether you meet someone or you have that new offer come in, or you just say, I'm just going to surrender. I'm going to just be in my King of Cups energy here and see, not just where it lands, but when I'm ready, I'm going to grab onto this opportunity. And you're right now kind of connecting with nature, maybe meditating more, getting outside, making travel arrangements or travel plans. Some of you, I'm just feeling that you are connecting to your higher self. And I just heard twin flame. Now, I don't do twin flame readings, or I don't talk about twin flames too often, but for those of you that are familiar with twin flame, you could be calling a twin flame into your life. Okay, very beautiful energy here. So get grounded, because some of you may be doing maybe a little daydreaming as well. I mean, I don't see that here. Maybe that's part of that Knight of Pentacles, but I feel like some of those daydreams, it's time for you to utilize this Capricorn season. Bring those dreams down to reality. You have the Great Gathering, Taurus. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. Beautiful. Yeah, you're attracting helpful people. You're attracting the right resources. I'm getting here serendipity as well. So some of you are aligning with the moments, and that's part of that Wheel of Fortune. Like I said, divine intervention, where spirit, the universe, is bringing you this big old wheel to spin, and you are the other hand. You're the other piece of it. you're spinning that wheel and saying, okay, where's this going to land? But it's like you're manipulating where it's going to land with your thoughts, with your intentions, with your manifestations. You also have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Yeah, some of you are being called to start something new. A new business, a new love relationship, a new love connection with your own self, some self-love here. This could be a new travel, new home, whatever it is here. You're being called to explore, to research, to learn, to open yourself up, to use the strengths that you work so hard on befriending, but also use those weaknesses in a sense. To be your ally, right? I feel like any of those weaknesses that you've had, because you've befriended them or because you're familiar with those weaknesses, you're actually using them as your strengths. I hope that makes sense. So for example, let's say you knew with this conflict card what a specific trigger of yours was. Maybe the trigger was seeing a specific competitor, and maybe that really triggered you to look at some of your own failures in your own business or in your own career. And now when you look at that competition, you say, well, I understand why that was triggering me, because it was a deep fear within myself that I was afraid of putting myself out there, or I was afraid that I wouldn't succeed. I was afraid of rejection. So there's something you are understanding and you're aware of now, and now you're being called to journey someplace that doesn't bring fear in, okay? Or at least it doesn't lead with fear. It leads with the heart. I really like this for you, Taurus. A lot of you are opening yourself up to so much this year, especially with heart's desire showing up for you. And this looks really beautiful. And if you find yourself at any time feeling this conflict, use the strategies that you've learned, but be willing to try something new. And that's part of the strategy, right? Have I tried this before? No. Well, maybe I'll give this a go. Maybe I'll try something new because I'll get a new result. And that's what you're doing. And that's going to be successful for a lot of you. All right. Now, last but not least, if you like this message, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. It certainly helps support the growth of the channel, which I'm so appreciative of. All of you, all of your likes, your contributions, your subscriptions, your views, all of it. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you. And lastly here, if you would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, I would love for you to tell me which energy here stands out most to you as far as, your 2024 intentions. Memories, action, heart's desire, and I just heard ding, ding, ding. So some of you, that's definitely heart's desire, or even career, because you have the career and finding solutions. So some of you, maybe it's overcoming these conflicts. And for others of you, it is career. So all you need to do is drop one of these themes in the comment section below, and I will enter you into that free reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the 1st of each month. So please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss that notification. Thank you so very much for tuning in, Taurus. Lots of love. Till next time.